Hi, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to my Genshin content. Today, we are in Inuzuma, one of my favorite places in Genshin. What we're going to do today is explore this place in detail, interacting with the statues and towers and NPCs, and see if there are things that I or we might have missed in our quest to get Primo Gems and quests. As a longtime player myself, I feel sometimes we get to neglect to interact closely with this world, and I want to rectify that and address that by making this content where we just get to look closer into the world of Genshin, starting here with this fox in the Inuzuma port. The first time you arrive here, this is the fox that greets you. And I asked myself, is this fox an enemy or a statue of a kind of opponent I might face later? Which, lo and behold, it wasn't. Yemiko is a fox. So what I did was I jumped behind this fox and looked for descriptions and checked if there are any details that I might have missed. But I did not. And so I remember the other fox shrines there deep the island, and they change their color at night, and candles light up in front of this. So I thought like maybe something special happens with this fox statue at night. So I manipulated the time and then check if such an effect would happen. Spoiler, nothing happened. It's just an ordinary fox. But I'm happy with that because, as I've said in this content I'm making for Genshin, I have theories about the things I see in the physical world of the game, and I want to try it out. So even though nothing really happens, it's still a beautiful fox at night, and I'm quite satisfied that I tried what I thought it was. It did not work, so I move on to the next one. And there's an NPC here named Mr. Obata, and he's drying fish, selling fish in front of him. And so I thought, does he sell fish? Obviously he does. Funny enough, I missed that part. And so I looked at his wares, and then obviously he sells fish. But what surprised me was he sells shrimp, which, as you can see here, crab and fish. You could get that out in the wild, but not shrimp. You can't catch shrimp. There's no shrimp swimming in the oceans or rivers or streams of Genshin. And so I'm Scrooge McDuck in Genshin. I think especially for other longtime players. I just cleaned out Mr. Obada's inventory and bought everything I can. I might need them for a recipe. I love the cooking aspect of Genshin, although it does get to be repetitive. I think it should be overhauled, but we'll get to talk about that later. I started looking more around and looked at these two NPCs talking. I tried, like Witcher 3 style, listen, and some thought bubble will come out, or I would overhear something. Nothing came out. And then I noticed this lamp-like tower here on the right, and I always thought like, I've always seen it, but I never really explored it. So I thought, is this a lighthouse? Because this is support. When ships are coming in. So is there somebody inside? Can we go inside? I think I already know you won't, but I've never really interacted with it in detail, so I tried to climb it. I wanted to climb the topmost part because I think all Genshin players do this. They climb at the highest point of whatever part of the game they are in, and then just look around and enjoy the vista. I tried that, but fortunately I can't. Still, I was able to see this opening view of Inuzuma. Now it's really fantastic. You could see that mystical mountain there where Yemiko and her priests, yes, where they live, and all these red trees in front. It's just a beautiful sight, and I think that's another reason that motivated me to explore Genshin. In minute detail, interacting with its world more closely, because I feel almost every other content creator I know in Genshin just focuses on character building, pulling for characters, clearing it for 100% without really savoring and enjoying the physical beauty and just the wonderful reality of Genshin's world. And so I wanted to escape that. I was doing the same thing from before. Going back to this tower, I really couldn't go up. There was no way to go up around it. If others have done it before I did, please comment in the section, show me how to do it, but I did not, so I just flew down. And yes, I went back to this fishing spot, which I haven't done a lot of fishing here actually, but I think I remember I cleared it up one time the other day. Now I'm trying to go into the inner part of the island, and as I've said here, I'm just enjoying the view. those wonderful red trees, I think, has meaning, which I'll discuss more. But I think the game devs, together with that fox statue at the beginning, plus the red trees, have a I think have a clue on the flow of the story here in Inazuma. I'm just looking around here, and here this NPC guy talks about the Kanjo. It's quite imposing. But they're the good guys now, so I'm fine with that. So there's this NPC lady here that I never really talked to, but after you've cleared, Inuzuma, and it's now much more open. She does explain some of the policy changes that have happened, where they still need to check people in because more people are coming in, which they never really had to do before because they don't want people to come in. But now they're slowly accepting people, which I feel is a nice touch because I really like the Inuzuma quest because the Raiden Shogun wanted things to remain the same, but eventually things had to change, and she realized the folly of her thought, and so it's reflected here. A close look at this bulletin board is very interesting. It has fox stickers and fox masks, drawings. I don't know. I call it stickers. They look like stickers. And again, I think these are clues together with the fox statue and then the red tree. I'll pull in together. Quick note about these boats. I love these boats in Genshin. I love these boats in Inazuma, which I always lament that the boats that we ride, the Wave Rider, is a toy. I love riding it. It's cute, but can we commandeer these boats like in GTA 6, GTA 5, and then just roam the seas? Assassin's Black Flag style. Okay, I went to this part of this section of Inazuma, and I tried to check if the flowers are moving in the wind because you get to see that in the fields, right? They don't, and this NPC keeps sweeping the floor, and the leaves never move. And interestingly, when you look at there, so you can see the red leaves are falling from the trees above. For me, that's an interesting thing because I think the devs wanted to add realism to the game that leaves are falling down, but probably thought stop there. Okay, that's enough. We don't need to let the leaves get swept up on the floor. But here, look at this. They put some potatoes and radishes in boxes, and they looked like game realistic for me. And so yeah, I think these are just details I think I noticed here. Finally, we get to see this red tree. But before I did observe that, I did not know, and this is genuine. I'm not lying here for content. I did not know that the stores here are representatives of the different nations in Teyvat. And then lo and behold, Liyue is the first one I interacted, and the thing they sell are rocks. Iron chunk, white iron. I mean, the electro crystal was fine, but iron chunk, I mean, come on. You could get that, anywhere. Going back to this red tree, this wonderful majestic tree, I climbed it, and I've always tried to climb this. I just get frustrated that whenever you climb, the leaves disappear. I feel like you should be inside the tree, but I don't know, maybe for viewing purposes, I guess. My point a while ago was, I think this in Japanese mythology, the fox is a symbol of change. Foxes transform. I mean, if you watch Naruto, the Kyuubi, they change into shape. Change into different, personas and manifestations. I think the game devs put this red tree, which is, I think, reminiscent of a tree in autumn. If you live somewhere in Canada or in Japan or in Korea, you know that during fall, leaves from green turn yellow into red. And together with that fox symbolism, I think means that the storyline of Inazuma eventually would change because these are elements of transformation and change, which when you put it juxtaposed with the mindset of the Raiden Shogun of eternity of unchanging is very interesting. That actually the game devs already put this philosophy of you can't stay the same as you are. I mean, you could do that for yourself, but you can't do it for the rest of the world. Anyway, I've been moving around these different stores. This one is from Mondstadt, and a very interesting thing here. They're selling dandelion seeds, which is the basis of the wine. From Deluxe Dawn Winery. It's 60,000 gold. And sometimes I always wonder whenever I see these overpriced items in the game, which you can get for free, truckloads of it in fields. I think the game devs are telling it, just go out and explore. Don't buy this stuff. Or they just want to scam you of your gold. I'm not really sure about that. And also, there's a store here of Sumeru. And I think from there, they're trying to sell some kind of like knowledge or blessing to, to promote your crops if you plant something. I never did buy something from the guy because we're gonna talk about this later. But that's really full confession here. I never really resonated with the Sumeru quests and then Sumeru as a region. I think one part because it's so green, it's so beautiful. I come from a green country, an archipelago, the Philippines. We have a lot of wildlife here. And there, you get to interact with a lot of wildlife you have to kill. Not Fatui, harbingers, wildlife. Like, why? I don't want to kill them, but they keep bothering you. And then second, yes, I felt like, unlike my interactions with Zhongli's quest in Liyue and then the Raiden Shogun here, I didn't resonate that much. I'm not saying it's bad though, but it's just as for me, it wasn't as a wow moment for me, but maybe for others it would be. All right, we found some vegetables there, and it's interesting you find vegetables in the most random of places here in Genshin. So I feel like just give me gold. I mean, I don't know how many players. I don't know how many players actually cook here, because you could heal yourself very quickly. You have characters who can heal, but they allow you to cook. I don't know, for quests maybe, maybe just for achievement purposes, but I don't know. I think it would have been better if you find gold or high level artifacts lying around. That would be a nice treasure hunt. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to move in a little bit closer, more into the inner parts of the earlier parts here of Inuzuma, and we're going to be interacting with more characters. So I don't want to drag this too long, but anyway, my point is I hope you enjoyed a little bit a taste of what we're going to do more in this following content, where we get to interact with NPCs and the world of Genshin, and hopefully get to appreciate more this game that we all love. So thank you for coming. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.